What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to show you how to jump a car, and oddly enough I actually got sent this from Topdon. It's basically a tool that can measure how good your battery is, how much voltage it's putting out, and it'll give you some other measurements as well. But today we're just going to be testing if the battery on the 9.5 wagon here is good, because this is my sister's car and she went to start it this morning and it wouldn't start because the battery's dead. So we're going to see how accurate this code reader is, and then at the same time we'll show you guys how to jump start a car. And then afterwards we'll also use this to test the Sonata's battery, because we know that's good to see how different of a reading we'll get between the two batteries. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead. Yeah, so absolutely nothing coming. You can see it's trying to turn over but just can't. And I apologize, the paint on the hood is pretty faded, but that's because this car sits outside, so it is a bit of a sore sight to see. But just please don't hate in the comments on that. This isn't my car, this is my sister's. I think we're also going to potentially do a video on how to detail an engine bay, because this is absolutely filthy. But obviously you're going to locate your battery. Just pull this little nice plastic cover off it. Thanks, GM. Now you've got your super dusty battery here. Oh, that's all right. So you've got your positive terminal and your negative terminal. So what you're gonna do with this is literally just hook it up like it's a jump starter, or a jumper cables I should say. And you're going to hook it up to both terminals. And the screen might be hard to see because it's so bright out. All right, so now it's just asking a couple basic questions. Nothing really important. Now it's gonna test the battery and tell us the voltage. We'll see if it's good or not. So yep, it says replace battery right here. So it's putting out just under 10 volts. So we're gonna compare that to the Sonata to see just how low that is. But I'm pretty sure that is not very good at all. So it's putting out about 10 volts. So now we're going to test the Sonata to see how many volts that is producing. All right, so now we're over in the Sonata. Just going to repeat the same exact process. You'll see this turn on again. It's a nice little tool. It's pretty small. It's very easy to use. I honestly expected there to be some sort of instruction to it, but okay. So this one says good battery. It's producing 12.66 volts, which I don't think is extremely high, but I mean, it's obviously still good. So now we can see that this is giving us more voltage, so that means that this is a good battery like I just said. So now we're going to connect our jumper cables and jump this thing, see if we can get started. So first thing, obviously you're going to do the red cables first. Just go ahead and attach it to the positive terminal on the Sonata. Now we're gonna come over to the 9.5 and attach this one over here. And we can go ahead and do the negative. Now you can put the negative either on the negative terminal or on a piece of exposed metal. I'm just going to put it on the negative terminal for just to make it easier. Then we'll come back. We'll put this on the Sonata's negative terminal. Then we'll go ahead and start up the Sonata. All right, so now we're in the Sonata. It's beeping ass because the hood's open. I'm gonna go ahead and start it up. And usually if the battery of the car you're trying to jump has been sitting for a while, or if you know it's like pretty much completely dead, it might not start up right away, so don't get discouraged by that. So what you can do if that's happening to kind of speed up the process is, one, you can obviously just let it sit here and idle, or two, you can actually start to rev this engine a little bit to help kind of speed up that process, because it'll get the alternator working a bit harder, and that'll help charge this battery, which will in turn help charge that battery. Or you can also just hold the idle a bit higher, maybe at 1500, 2000 RPM. It all just depends, do whatever you want, or you can just let it sit and wait. But now, since this battery is not very dead, we're going to go ahead and just try to start it up right away, and I am confident that it'll work. Yep, there we go, started up pretty much immediately. Everything's good, everything's back to normal. So now actually, I want to let this car sit running for a minute or two, see if it'll charge up the battery a bit. I want to check it again, because remember, it was at 9.94 volts before. I want to see, after letting this run for a couple minutes, if that's going to jump up and if it'll still say that we need to replace the battery, because obviously this battery will probably need to be replaced, but I want to see if we can kind of trick this scanner and see how that'll work. So we're going to let this run for a couple minutes and I'll catch up with you guys then. Alright, so the car sat and ran for about 2 or 3 minutes. Don't really want to do much more than that. I guess Josh is just going to rev his Sonata. And now I want to see if it'll change the voltage output, or how much it changed it. It should have changed it. Yep, so now it gave us 12.48 volts, which is basically identical to what the Sonata put out, but it still says to replace the battery. Maybe it can tell that it's just temporarily boosted, but I don't know. I guess we couldn't fool the scanner, which is good. That's definitely good. So if you guys would like one of these, there will be a link in the description for it. Definitely a good product, just something nice to have around in case you ever want to check your battery voltage or whatnot. I guess I kind of broke this, but you know, it's whatever. Actually, it looks like it's good. So that's going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.